Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. Homebrew. I know it's been a few weeks since I have been here, but yeah, had a bunch of stuff going on this last couple of weeks, so I really want to shout out to my co-host Luanika for On the Right Path and being able to kind of fill in the gaps there so we can keep content coming out to you. But I am really excited to be coming to you today. This is something that I've been working on for quite a while. I've been trying to bring some magic to my critical failure mechanic at my home table, and so I think that I finally cracked the code, so I want to go ahead and share it with you here. So this is going to be a mashup of concepts and rules from a bunch of different games because I'm really trying to go ahead and find a better way to build drama at the table when those critical failures happen. If you're listening to the channel at all, you know we deal a lot with metacurrencies, specifically threat and momentum in the 2D20 game engine by Modifius when we're playing Star Trek Adventures with our Patreons or what have you. But if you aren't familiar with those mechanics, basically threat and momentum are pools of accrued points that can be used in specific ways. They're prescribed in the game books as far as how you can use threat and momentum. One of the big things that you'll do with them is use them to buy additional dice for your dice pools, so that way they kind of are interrelated with one another. So they're separate, but they're related, and there's a pool for the players and a pool for the storytellers. Most recently on the channel, and actually I'm not sure that the episode's come out yet, but it's coming out soon when we're talking about Kobold's Tales of the Valiant. They have designed a luck mechanic to replace inspiration, and basically the gist of that is that each individual player has a pool of luck points. They gain one when they fail an ability check or an attack roll, and they can have a maximum of 5 before they start to lose them. So there's kind of this imperative need to go ahead and play them, to use them, because they can be lost through normal gameplay. So I was looking at that, and I was kind of looking at the metacurrencies and STA, and then trying to figure out how to go ahead and kind of work the magic with my own critical failure system, because I really like heightened effects and kind of big consequences. I think that they bring excitement to the table when those happen, and I really enjoy leaning into them, both in the positive and in the negative. And critical successes are something that come naturally to the table, but I think that critical failures are a little bit more ephemeral. So I really wanted to go ahead and make something with some teeth and some interest, right? So what I have come up with is a system of not only expanding what Kobold has done with luck, but also introducing the storyteller pool of bad luck. So let's go ahead and crack this open. So the first thing that I did was I started with the luck mechanic from pretty much right out of the Black Flag system resource document. It's on page 120. You can go ahead and specify it. But it's pretty much exactly as I laid it out, that players gain it when they fail ability checks or attack rolls, and they have a certain amount of pool, and that basically they can use it to add a +1 modifier to any roll if they spend 1 luck, or if they spend 3 luck, they can basically give themselves advantage or a re-roll on the roll. So those are going to stay the same. Nothing changes there. What I am adding to that is that for 4 luck, a player can declare something as true. It's a very kind of that's a very powered by the apocalypse or STA kind of concept. But basically the way that it works is that if a player, instead of using a sleight of hand check to pick a lock, maybe they declare that lock is not locked instead, that kind of thing, or that any number of things, but basically they can say something is true about the game world involving what they're currently doing. They can spend the luck basically instead of having to make the check. The other thing that they can do is that they can spend 5 luck to summon an ally. Doesn't necessarily have to be in combat, but most of the applications that I can think of are in combat, but that doesn't mean that it has to be. It can be any number of things that kind of an ally would be useful. So say their cleric is down and they need healing. Summon an ally to go ahead and do some healing. And the ally will basically stay there for a story-appropriate amount of time. I'm pretty loosey-goosey with that. I don't see at this point the need to go ahead and really kind of clamp down on that for timeline, but, we'll play that by ear as it comes along. Maybe I need to go ahead and revisit that. But for right now, basically, they stay for a story-appropriate amount of time is the way that I'm writing it. So that's basically the changes that I'm making to luck. I'm giving them 2 additional options to spend their luck points, which I think is going to do a couple of things, and so we'll see how it kind of plays out at the table. But to accompany that, I'm also building in a bad luck pool. And the way that bad luck is going to work is that I'm going to gain it way slower. So I'm starting with a pool of bad luck, 1 bad luck per player, and I gain 1 bad luck for every natural 1 rolled at the table. So that's how my mechanics work. I have a maximum of 10 bad luck available to me, but I can't lose them through normal gameplay. I'm going to give myself kind of the same type of expenditures that I'm giving to the players. For 2 bad luck, I can summon a +1 minion if I'm in combat, so possibility of up to 5 minions. And if you're not sure what I mean by minion, I would definitely check out the On the Right Path episode about minions, or the accompanying document that's up on Drive-Thru RPG. The other thing I can do with 3 bad luck is I can trigger a reroll, either one of my own or one from my players, keeping in mind the Will Wheaton rule, right? If the players have rolled a critical success, I can't make them re-roll that. Don't be a dick. And then for 4 bad luck, I can then declare something that's true, but I can't name something true that is in opposition to something that a player has already declared is true. Player declares it's true and spends the luck to go ahead and do so. That is now true. I can declare other things true. So for example, using the same example that we used before, if a player came up to a door that isn't normally locked, but I want to go ahead and delay it a little bit, I can spend luck to lock the door, maybe something like that, or any number of things. But basically, I can declare a truth about the world by expending 4 bad luck. Then the other expenditure that I have is for 5 bad luck, I can summon a full stat block adversary as opposed to a minion, basically just a regular adversary. And what's key about this one is that the party does not have to be in combat for me to go ahead and do that. So, for example, let's use an example from my last game session. The players are scouting out a house that they think that they're going to break into, basically, to go ahead and steal some stuff. I spent my bad luck to go ahead and trigger a robotic sentry that basically chased the party away. That robotic sentry now lives at that house, so that there's some narrative reasons why the owner of the house has a robotic sentry like that. So that's how I was able to go ahead and spend the bad luck that I had accrued at that point. The other thing with these systems is that because I think that there are more higher point expenditures for the players, I'm giving them another way to gain it. It has a cost. Basically, players can buy luck for themselves by giving me bad luck. Some guide rails on this one. So first of all, players can only do this once per session. They can only buy a maximum of 5 luck from me, and that's only if I have 5 bad luck to give. So if I'm at 8 bad luck and they want to buy 5 luck, they can't, because I only have 2 to give. However, if they want to buy 2, we can go ahead and make that happen. And I'm curious to kind of see how that works out, see how willing they are to go ahead and give me bad luck in that case to go ahead and buy luck. Very much kind of a threat momentum kind of dynamic there, where you can buy threat to buy additional dice to get yourself additional momentum. That's kind of the way that the mechanics work together. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to work out. So anyway, that's my thought. I'm going to roll that out to my table this Thursday, actually, at our next session. I'm really excited to kind of see how it plays out, but I want to hear from you all. Have you experimented with the luck system in Tales of the Valiant? How do you think it's working? Or do you have other options for how you're using either critical failures or any kind of metacurrency like this at your table? I'd love to go ahead and hear. Please, comment down below. Let's get the conversation started. And first of all, also too, thank you very much to everybody who has already subscribed to the channel. Obviously, we are working really hard to go ahead and pump out a bunch more video content. There is more coming, so we're really excited to kind of see how that's going to work out. But yeah, subscribing and commenting on our videos is a huge way to go ahead and help us out and help make the channel grow even better and even faster. If you are looking for another way, then there's always our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/ttjourneys, where you can sign up to not only receive early copies of our Friday episodes, but also you can get free copies of any of our printed material, like these rules, once I finally get around to go ahead and finishing the PDF on them. But also, you can be invited into our Patreon-only monthly games. Lewanika just ran Star Trek Adventures with our Patreons earlier today. I'm assuming that the pinging that I'm hearing in my ears is him telling me how the game session went, so I'm really excited to hear the notes on that. But yeah, that's a tremendous amount of fun. Our Patreons are some of the best role players that you will ever come into contact with, so if you're you're really looking to go ahead and throw some dice with some really skilled players, you should check it out. Again, that's www.patreon.com/ttjourneys. Anyway, that is Dr. Homebrew for today. Hope that you enjoy, and yeah, I want to hear your comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video down below, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care.